Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. And today's episode is Merlin Season 3, Episode 6, The Castle of Firen. Episode in a nutshell is a brief reminder of what happened in the episode. So in this episode, Gwen is kidnapped, and Morgana is the one who arranged it, because in the previous episode she did find out about Arthur's feelings towards Gwen, and this is her taking advantage of that. Gwen is kidnapped by Senrid and Morgause and is extorted, I believe is the word, basically told, you bring Arthur to us because we know you can, or we're going to kill your brother that you have been estranged from for the last 4 years. Gwen then is sent back to Camelot, where she then informs Merlin, who informs Arthur about the situation, her brother being kidnapped and held by Senrid and Morgause, and if she doesn't bring Arthur there, they're going to kill him. So Arthur agrees to go and rescue Elien, and then Morgana decides, after informing Morgause that the plan is working, decides to tag along. And then as she's tagging along, Arthur informs everyone that under the Castle of Firen, which is where Senrid is right now, there are tunnels which his father had used previously to break into the castle and win a previous war battle. And so they're going to use those. Morgana sneaks off at night to inform Morgause, who gives her a ring that she uses magic on so that once Morgana finds the tunnels, she can let them know. As they enter into the tunnels, Morgana leaves the ring, which sends up an orange smoke signal to let everybody know. Then in the tunnels, they are ambushed and everybody is captured. Merlin and Arthur are put in a cell together, and Arthur fakes an escape in order to bring the guards into the cell, where he then actually escapes, gets Gwen and Elien. However, Morgana isn't there, so they split up. Elien and Gwen go out to get the horses, and Arthur goes to get Morgana, and then Merlin, a little bit slower, follows Arthur, who's going after Morgana. Morgause, when Arthur comes to save Gwen, Senrid's holding her hostage, and then Morgause causes a fire tornado or column in the room and starts pushing it towards Arthur. However, Merlin, who's hiding around the corner, uses his own magic to basically blow it up, throwing everybody away from it. And luckily, Arthur and slightly after Morgana are the first to wake up, so they grab Morgana and head out. Morgana at first tries to delay them by claiming she has a ankle injury from earlier when Merlin scared her horse with a snake to try to get it so that she couldn't keep coming with them. But Arthur just picks her up, and then they all end up back in Camelot. Everybody's safe, and Elien receives help from Arthur in order to restart his father's forge and live in the town now with Gwen. So now that we've been reminded what happened in the episode, we'll now rank the episode, and as always, we'll be ranking on our 2 ranking lists. The mostly objective ranking list, followed by the personal ranking list. So first, we have our multi-season supporting character development, and this is Gwen being kidnapped, and that's worth 3 points. Then we have our multi-season supporting character introduction, and that is her brother Elien, also worth 3 points, bringing us to a total of 6 points. And then that's it for the positive. That's it for the positive points now, so 6 positive points. But there was a negative, and that, of course, is the kidnapping and extortion, both of which are very negative and illegal behaviors and messages. And so that is minus 2 points, which leaves us with 4 points for this episode objectively. So on our mostly objective list for season 3 so far, in first we have the Tears of Uther Pendragon, Goblin's Gold, the Crystal Cave, the Changeling. This episode comes in 5th, the Castle of Firen, and then in 6th we have Gwaine. Now my personal ranking for this episode, we'll start with the negatives. Negative, I don't like Gwen as a character. I mean, as a maid character, sure. As Guinevere of Legends, future Queen of Camelot, no. I don't like the character at all. And it was a very Gwen heavy episode, so not a fan of it. Obviously, we've been being foreshadowed for a while that Morgana is going to use Arthur's feelings for Gwen in some way, and this is how she chooses to do it. And in theory, it would have worked, so I don't really have a complaint about that, though. Like, she wasn't subtle. Every time they interacted, or when Gwen returned, as soon as Gwen like turned her back, she did like this sly smirk, and I'm like, I know that was for the audience's benefit, but honestly, if you're trying to get away with being a bad person, don't make it so obvious, because anybody who is like looking at you or glancing at you or happened by would be like, wow, that's an evil look. Wonder what she's plotting. Oh, look, this bad thing just happened. I wonder who plotted that. Maybe that person who had the sly look that looked like they were plotting. Like, it's just very obvious. And then, Arthur, he's the good guy, he's the hero. So even though it's a maid that he has feelings for, he goes after, well, he wants to find her first when she's kidnapped, when Uther doesn't really care. And then, he does go above and beyond to try to save her, even ending up getting captured himself for that, though that was due to Morgana's sabotage. Yeah, like overall, the parts that didn't have Gwen in them were very good. I enjoyed the special effects. I think Morgause and Senrid might be having a bit of a fling. Morgana, of course, is helping her sister and therefore also helping Senrid. All of that was good. The effect was good of the flame column, of it exploding. Always like the magic effects. But again, like it was just so Gwen-centric and heavy that I just didn't personally enjoy it, which is fine because that's my right. I'm allowed to have the opinion of that. But overall, I just decided to agree with the objective ranking. I gave it a 4 out of 10 because it just didn't speak to me on any level, and I didn't really enjoy it because of the Gwen-centricness of it. Which brings my personal ranking to in first Goblin's Gold, followed by the Changeling, the Tears of Uther Pendragon, the Crystal Cave, Gwaine, and then this episode currently is in last place for me. In sixth, we have the Castle of Firen. Which brings us now to our series ranking so far. And on our objective list, Season 2 is in first place with 70.83%. Season 1 in second with 69.23%. And Season 3 so far has a score of 38 out of 110. On the personal ranking side, we had Season 2 in first place, also with a score of 70.83%. Season 1 in second with 66.92%. And then Season 3 so far has a score of 41 out of a possible 110. And with that, we have now rewatched and ranked Merlin Season 3, Episode 6, The Castle of Firen. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode.